Whether
we are going to fight among ourselves. Whether we are going to fight among ourselves in getting a replacement government. So on behalf of the party, I want to beg everybody that don't let us rush over each other as to who should succeed Honorable Muntaka. Because in doing so, we may end up dishonoring his memory. Let's wait. We will convene a political committee meeting and we will come back and advise what should be done.
That the Ghana Armed Forces have already begun investigations into the incident. We have made requests for international collaboration, and we have received positive response in that regard. And so we want to assure you, our chiefs, that nothing will be covered, it will be transparent, and the public, Ghanaian public, will know exactly what happened and the cause of this tragic accident. We also want to caution the media and some analysts who have been churning out misinformation and untruths about this whole incident. All I want to say is that Ghanaians should trust that the ministry and the Ghana Armed Forces are going to be diligent in the investigations and transparent about it, and whatever was the cause will be known to the people of Ghana, and we will take some lessons out of that. I don't want to say anything beyond that.
An appropriate material we have on the ground. We had some body bags at the scene, but the remains were so heated that it was not conducive for the bags to be used. It was in a thick forest, it was getting late. We had the option of leaving our remains there till the following day, and we know what could have happened to the bodies. So the team that was up there assessing the situation decided to use available material they could lay hands on to start to descend the high ground. At the foot of the hill, they met the medical team, and with the body bags that they had, some of which have been also sent from Anglo Gold Ashanti, they kept our fallen heroes in those bags decently.
Rather unfortunate that it didn't come at a good time. But it also marked the beginning of friendly and cordial relationship between the NDC and the New Patriotic Party. As my uncle, I always refer to Chairman as my uncle. He also refers to as my nephew. And it shows the respect and love I have for him, and he also has for me. After today, maybe also looking forward to coming here and also NDC coming to our office, not to give reverse, but to discuss even matters of mutual benefit to all of us. And Chairman, as you rightly said, they cut across. We are friends, we are brothers, we are sisters from both divides. It's important that we continue to maintain the unity and stability of this country. And Chairman, I want to state on record that for us, as Syndicate, our decision not to contest Tamale Central is not about whether we win or we lose. Matter of principle, and we've done it before, even at Abuakwa North, when we lost our MP, JB Danko. For Ediso, it was political strategy. So at least they knew they were not going to win, but they wanted to hide behind the independent candidate. That's why My uncle didn't contest. So just to at least sympathize, commensurate.
Menim sɛ yɛso yɛ da party ano te sɛ deɛ mo da party ano yɛ. Party nyɛ command organization sɛ woyɛ general secretary anaa national chairman a wobɛtumi akyerɛ deɛ party member biara bɛka. Ɛno nti no wobɛte sɛ at certain levels deɛ wɔn no ɛkeka no wobɛka sɛ wohyia obi koraa a wobɛtwitwo atwa ne ti. Ɛsɛ yɛhu ne sɛ yɛ organize yɛ communications no at levels. Nkwalaa no a wɔsɔre no nneɛma a wɔkeka sɛ yɛne mpanimfoɔ yi yɛhunu sɛ yɛantumi antu wɔn fo koraa sɛ wɔn nyaeɛ a yɛnsosɔ wɔn so sɛ wɔn ntoa so. Ɛba saa yɛbɛtumi akɔ ɔman no abom. Sɛ biribi ba na wohunu sɛ afiri national executive level ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ adeɛ a aduugu no mu. But bloggers no ne nneɛma a wɔn a wɔwɔ fam hɔ ne wɔn nsɛm kaeɛ no mɛmeka sɛ mede ho ayi soboɔ ɛrebɔ ebi a general secretary
the MPP is inviting us to it. A realm that we will decline the invitation in the sense that we are mourning. Why would they want to bring out this? In any case, they know it's a political game they are playing. I mean, you cannot overturn 52,000 votes that you have 16,000. They have 16,000 in Tamale Central. We had 52,000. Even twice of their number will not get to our number. So it's a political calculation they made. It's not that they are mourning anybody or they want to say because of the funeral that they are. In any case, Akotia by election, they have no pull out. We lost our honorable member there too. Why are they not pulling out their one too and say in honor of the MP? I mean, the hypocrisy of these our brothers, we know. They are trying to invite us to a realm that we will not fall into that trap. The MPP is inviting us to it.
Look, if we are taking 100 scarf out of our system, it means that there will be no gas to car power. There will be barely enough gas to most of the plants in Tema, and then there will be no gas at all to the Kumasi enclave, okay? But like I said, if that is augmented with SEM power coming on, AXA getting some HFO, then in terms of what we need to shed, if we are shedding load, it will be very minimal. I don't have the
that also a dunai, and I think Pimino and a duno in Yata say, Coffin said no do by a person Cunyasono, Yabo Fiemo, Numemo can be a Wubiano, near your my Ghana home and como, not Ghana may here and Cabo and Cancro, there will be a BC any sorrow at me and so we pay a day. Am I made a Kofi Appiah able to chill my esmu sabre, Coffin said Bonondua, ever sorry to day a song. And then come my bediano, a Yahood and sir. Didi kai to ya abamu penifo aye so nyame adom a ochena fie Ghana me ade hye nipa nwotwe a helicopter bon from ade wo free cry ebese akọ boase ya enurade na wotwe ekotere adanse akrofom me nipa nwotwe wo nyina bom wie sa no ochena aban ye wo abrempoyie ewo enkrai kropon no mu na ye de ho sim nyina nso betotwa na ebusa se de ani esua ede afri mu se de Ghana ba ya semisiye kwani asojafo fa asokọ ho na omko fa emu no na omde baaye yentimi anye nhwimu Ghana ha yede call South Africa for ansa no mutimi achim se asebesi a na obentini no ede na yesua ede afri mu yefi no so a ne yahwe se de kofa we baaye nyina eye galamse no na ba se de yentimi ntra ma yensuo ne ensase nyina ɛnsɛe saa ɛno nti mmabu na ɔmo yɛ galamsey no yɛkɔyɛ responsible cooperative mining MPP abrɛ so no ɔmo frɛ no community mining aban sɛ responsible cooperative mining yɛmo ɔbo amaburu kuro bi a ɛbɔbɔ ma no a yɛsɛ asase wei sika kɔkɔɔ no kakra wɔ so nti monkɔ na mo nyinaa monkɔ yɛ adwuma wɔ hɔ mo wie a yɛakata so yɛdua nnua kama wei ne nhyɛ yɛ ananka mampani ɛbɛpa ho ntoma ɛwɔ ɔboase a wɔanya ama na wotu na bɛn mu asoafoɔ ɛne mpanifo bi ka ho so mesi na nan mu a helicopter ɔmo de ba no babenya nkwanhyia ononyamfo sam ekogye to ablakɔ a ya ɔyɛ ɔmɛyi soafoɔ hwɛ ama no ne nsɛm so kyɛ sɛ deɛ sie nti no ɔmampani John Dramani Mahama awie aboɔ hinam so sɛ kwa bi aso no ɛwɔ sɛ galamsey no yɛkɔ no tu aseɛ na saa kono a yɛbɛkɔ tu aseɛ no ɛkɔ so anaa baabi wɔ kuro bɔ hɔ a ɔmo so ɔmo mpene ɛma galamsey fo mɛsɛ ɔmo saase yɛntwa ɔmo kɔkɔ mu kuro bɔ nso ɔmo atie gyina ɛne aposifoɔ a ɛbɛbra galamsey no ɛde abɔ ani yɛbɛhɛ ne aka ho asɛm Uraken ahyegbe kyerɛ sɛ kɛbɛyɛ a district commander biara ya postpeni oda mensin biara no se ba mensin ne behu sɛ galamsey kɔ so hɔ de a ɛsɛ yiwadi ɛna ɔhene biara nso no se hu sɛ galamsey kɔ so asase so a wonso bɛyɛ a yɛntu adeɛ so eti galamsey ɛkɔn no ɛyɛ ɔmanfoɔ ɛna wɔsɛ ɔmo de ɔmo gyim na yɛtimi kutu aseɛ anaasɛ wɔsɛ ahemfo ne aposifoɔ ɛna ɛyɛ sɛ adwuma no ebenya brɛ na yɛ di ho nkɔmɔ the fight against galamsey yɛ kɔfa asase mi baeɛ no ɛyɛ kɔn no yɛ kɔkɔ yɛ nim anaasɛ yɛ di nkuguo ebisɛ yɛhu ɛnamontuo kɛseɛ biara yɛ a yɛtu a ɛtumi aso aba ɛde ama Ghana mɛ sei for river gas anaasɛ ɔmo a yɛsɛ ɛdɔm baeɛ sɛ ɔmo nkɔ na ɔmo kɔ bɔ nsuo aho ban no na ɔmo gu galamsey fuo bi so akyɛ sɛ nyɛ life jacket ɛhyɛ ɔmo a galamsey fuo no ɔmo nim dwane gya ɛkyɛn mo ahwɛ ɔmo dwane kora dwane agya mo because ahwɛ ni nyinaa ne ahwɛ sɛdeɛ ɛkɔn no esi korɔ yɛwie a Accra Kumasi Road yɛgu so a yɛyɛ nwie ne mom so ofiri poku ase ɛba nsawo mu a MPP aba abrɛ so ɛna aban so akɔgye bosia na ɔmo yɛ no express highway ofiri poku ase ba nsawo mu no ɔmo sɛ wopie firi nkrakropon mu a traffic wɔ hɔ pa in fact sɛ utu car ukɔfro bus firi circle na woba bidu poku ase a ifiri hɔ de ba no wobɛtime di hɔ bɛɛ dɔhoro miɛnsa edi aba yɛ sɛ yɛ bike kwan num car kwan no yɛ no kɛseɛ car bɛyɛ nan ananum bɛfa wonkum na ɛna ananum afa nifa na sɛ afei deɛ trɔtrɔ ne taxifoɔ namfa no na highway no mu a mo ba Kumasi no ɔmo nso na mu ɛkwai MPP abrɛ so ɔmo hyɛ aseɛ no na ɔmo si ɛbɛwie kora nsa ne ato aba no yɛntumi yɛsi sɛ na ɔhwɛ no TV no so no nsuo tɔɔyɛ no adɔbafo no hunu amane wɔ hɔ paa ama ɛsɛ ɔmo nkaka akɛseɛ no kyerɛ sɛ sabaya mehwɛ na poku ase ne nsawo nkwan no wanye na nanum yaade a ɛna ɔbɛtete ɔmo nkɔ adwuma na hwɛ ɔmo ka akra bɛba bɛbrɔko kwan no nyinaa sɛ bɛyɛ aka nkɔ ka ba ifsɛ ka akɛseɛ no sɛ ya na ɛsɛ wɔ kwan no hwɛ ebi na emu da fam hɔ a kyerɛ sɛ ne nkɔba nyinaa na ehwe wie mu no yɛbɛbusa sɛ ka akwan na sika da hɔ ɔse yɛde yɛ ɛna yɛamfa anyɛ anaasɛ na sika no enso ti aban bae no ɛna wɔsɔ kɔpɛ sika no bi ka ho no tumi yɛ kwan sɛ deɛ hɔ kwan na yɛ no deɛ ɛnya asɛm ketewa koraa wei no ne nsɛm yɛnsa na ebenya brɛ na yɛde nkɔfo adwenkyerɛ ɛbrɛ WhatsApp line no ɛyɛ 0551 599 933 0551 599 933 so de ba ɛbrɛ pɛ benya brɛ na yɛakenkan nso ɛde ama wo yɛne kan ne yɛnkɔhwɛ preparations ntotoyɛ aban ayɛ for nyame yɛ adom ɔkyena state burial state funeral ayɛyɛ ɛde ama mpanimfoɔ Rastan Bogwe ya o mampani atra ya ɔno na dwumadi asi ɛhyɛ ne nsa wɔkyɛ sɛ yɛatoto biribiara awie deɛ wɔsɛnsɛntwerɛfoɔ mu gyina deɛ ne sɛm yɛ ɛne bambɔ nhyɛ nyinaa no yɛntie sɛm a ɔde to dwa
actually be a military service it to be conducted by the Ghana Armed Forces, and there will be 3 parts to the funeral program. We would have the pre-burial service, during which period some tributes would be read. We would have Quran recitations during that period, and the second part would be the main funeral and burial service. The pre-burial will start from 7:30 a.m. and would continue to 9 a.m. We expect Her Excellency the Vice President to arrive at the funeral grounds at 8:50 a.m. in the morning, and that will be followed by His Excellency the President at 9 a.m. where the state service will then begin. The service is programmed to last for approximately 3 hours, during which period we would take the biographies of the departed 8 colleagues, parents, siblings, and colleagues. After the biographies, we will take tributes from the widows and then also tributes from the children. There will be other tributes that would be read by some senior government officials. All institutional tributes from the various institutions that our departed comrades work with or associated with will be read during the pre-burial period before 9 o'clock. After the service, the bodies of the 6 that are yet to be buried would be conveyed to the military cemetery at Chado for burial. And there as well, the Ghana Armed Forces, together with the churches of the 6 departed comrades, would take charge of the burial ceremony at the military cemetery.
Right, where ayora standobe ya wo mampeni atraye ya ono na events you dey say ya otedi mu akotre wono wo kire entotoye baby aka abefa baby anipa begina ene de ka ho nyina bra e bebo mpaye baby e baye ofosom ene de ka ho nyina wiye no posifo mpanimfo so be kire bambo security e she o maye de bo ban na enkra kwan no bebre ho nso a ye be dai beti bi ye be sibi se be ye badwede nso etimi enso abaso Postpenny, your friend of Chiefs of an Obey, on also UTD, okay.
We view and see that traffic is compounding. Certain traffic diversions have been made to deliver these traffic services to routine commuters and residents around Independence Square. Those on La Road, when the road is blocked, will be diverted onto the Oxford Street. Those who are on Local Street joining Castle Road to come to the Independence Square, to the ministries or Makola or through to Jamestown, among others, if the area is choked, will be diverted onto the castle to Independence Avenue through National Theatre onward to Kimbu. The same applies to our routine road users from Jamestown.
All right, we Chief Lieutenant Alexander Kweku Obey, ya ono and Director of Research, Education and Training, our Police MTT, the opposite for we are council ono and watchre a car can be a bed diabetes be afa, Sebeya, a bebo bedwedian, baby a ye no, and Coba said there which should be and so a bebaho. The Abajafu name you may, ye no more AD Jume a Moro Yakubu, or Kaone Kasama and this Samanyuku, and Afe Victor. Oseipuku so kan woni a ekasama New Patriotic Party MPP amanyuku no wo mo ne no bidin komoyi na yeti de omo so ewoka quickly mam sha se free Moro so na Moro akwaba na wo ye de
na me anta roma quite apart from which year I think say August Nyamanta, I mean 2025 August Nyamanta, Ghanaians would want to remember. Nema ICC
microphone.
Nema yenyina no yedi ho awerɛho, and I believe say with all due respect to Bright said that the Lumbe DBC helicopter crash nyame yɛ adom a ɛkyena state honor the departed and I say the fallen heroes omode bibia to nkyɛn sɛ ɔmbɛserve ɔman no and ne kwasi broni bɛka sɛ they were at service for the nation and he said bibi saa kusi a target ɔmo as heroes and for that matter fallen ones of course no akyi no ne ya sentiment mu ha sɛ yante asempa sanse nufuta braba yɛ nyinaa no yɛno mu ano ɛyɛ asante hema no so etwa n'ani ahwɛ dan a ɛno nso so yɛ awerɛhosɛm yi a gidi sɛ August enye month I mean 2025 August enye month we want to remember quite apart from that ne de me ho ya nisa na ofa amemfa akonya yusu na menchia Ira President Mahama, His Excellency na menchia Ira Frank Amakohene, the Ashanti Regional Minister working Minister for that matter. Amenchia Ira Zuba of Amenchia wankasa umune ukrumo bojuma. Amenchia Ghana for in general omo majebra omo hweye sabria Ghana nyina no atobaha in terms of sa oyine ya atuye ewo this particular man team and senim di kaka ya nofa August 2025 is going to be a month and a year Ghana ni biara no okaya ede areho ebebre but ni nyina mu no sene kwasibu ni beka regardless we move sene TV na o se ye Ghana adwuma sanse sene onu ntofo ne kan no se mamunsu emma me bebre munsu ma moho ene omo amede eja ekire ni aka na edoso ntini emeka ne se nyina be hye ho den titiri abusua omo hwe omo adehye over one more ayahwere omo no variously enema anu omo ye de bo nipa no na ye beyond omo families I mean personal families ohwemu ntala nkwada dodo anu omo awo on scholarship list so particularly omo ye medicine at the end of the day san nkwada ba system ni mo they are going to go a long way to help the state at least for them being doctors no cry no ye adia chese Ghana hwere adekese ba beyond the fact say ebusuafo ahwere ade no Ghana so ahwere ade ye ba but omo ahwere ade ankasa ebe omo ye the immediate family memo omo hye den stronko the NDC fraternity ameso meka ho bi see the quality of people mean sanipem but adwuma bie mo no ye wode e wosoro standard wo the quality of people are NDC lose as we speak now a very big blow but me ekremoni de bia ya na e kan se nyankopon ni opena woye na untimi question no so in any way anti time bia no na ebesi bia na de aseda ebe manyame ahoden na mesra ma ye nyina de mesa kanso asan tato ne se ye nyina ye hu ne se ye Roma ne boama waje adwuma to adwuma kese e wose ye both Ghana ne party nyina because ye nyina enim modern mo awo boy in the 2024 elections ma the party NDC and the quality of service even the last days to provide for the good people of Ghana no so there should be somebody that should be wearing that big boot na with me the etwa adwuma no so no matter what it is adwuma no say of course the same thing applies to the rest me offer Samuel Sapon amzam ne kasa e bosume krama na yewo agro a ya na edi me offer me tani so me offer santi o say e be ye wana me so offer you na President Mahama ne me akasa se sene etie bia no odem be hye ba bia ma me nso so mensa asomoso na on mo ni ma na mo ben irasam wasapon ye no de she nanum crowd de bema. If you lose such a person, it means the party and for them Matagana and Yinano Ashre Adikesi. One more ban on most especially one more the party form pono. Can you know attest to Irasam was up on Ayemia Oye, and it tells you how a big blow to the NDC and for them Matagana and Yina in general. He served as, Kumasi mayor, or also served as regional minister. He served in so many capacities for Ghana. And the Mekanina and say, Nyamenfa Omokra NCA.
So far, so they are buying handle issue from beginning of the
fantastic. And the cooperation from the family especially. A treasure communication in Ekosui. If there were gaps, Nanka, Ibian came fast and Papa, and especially with our Islamic, brothers, Seni Sifasuye Nema, especially. I think Yura Muntalane Alaji, Muniru, DN especially, and Nekwaya Omofaso, Ibu, Visavi, how do you identify their bodies? DNA, Huns, and Semni at the end. I think the government has been very fantastic. And I'll commend the family as well. I mean, respective families are Yempenifuya, Oyini, Isia, Omo, and their victims. I'll commend their families. They have cooperated so much well. Amanyamenina Elkosui. Na Ansana Beba Mesonumi, who say, Wojin Kra, a free hole. The kind of directions, especially routes, I am funny at the end of the bachelor will say, we are ready for the whole entire thing. Empire na mebo at the attack to us, and Yankopon Kwan in Nimni away and him. On far, ye every papa. Na Bibiano, intimi, and seni isipeno. The Amatia made then say, I see Bibia, a free babyano. I actually, the Bibiano immediately will be given to the family. And I believe say commendable. Because especially the younger ones, Minya Samia Boaji. The near sure say baby who is senior high school, Munina in Quadanketinkete. Muntala quite apart from the eldest, child no. Mkrana Kanina in Quadanketinkete Omuhia at least education. So Mupapampo Omuni Hono. Say nanka obey ni ear at least it me any be na with me could room pempen so be the quality and free sa and penny for your mashre or madechia or mashre or mokra ewo or mine and teach mo ne send or musi etu or musi ho a year to muache eduma and ye can't as a 4 monka who be no ebema and quadano so ye the same thing from them. At least, even if we miss them, we'll be able to say at least walk on here. Then so the biwa at the BT. I say, no, na me this is a beno, a bit di, a mupa, and Kobane Sadia na and tray. And Mishia Papa be after one of the programs on a sister station. I was a Anamokan say, I baby no na. Akwebibi or May 9th, and then once and 70 at the end of yes, we have, experienced gardeners. And the Martin say, yeah, my name Kochenko, so ye better the annual qua, a debi where the BTS in T. Sunny, free one hour, only free more, ref. Exactly. We need immediately be near. Say, I bind a wissy, see, family fund, name farmer respective families in an intimate moi, among Koran education, intimate nimune, and Moama. Vinabusia for ne yenya party for Ghana for actually at the end you bet me a certain consolation.
Right, that's Gloria Ko, Kasama, the ruling NDC. And what in Kano. Mameko Victor Ho. It's a Kaba. Now, put me a dear.
Ready, dear Drew, I said, Daniel de Beman. It's say, Yan.
Arahuabu, the ate poi, ya ye free, running our tree. And I'm a permanent. I mean, I'd much na. And I might say, yeah, I've been put many pound watchy. I say, Gramophobe, the Canada, Cosiada, you see a woman, we make no nyina besa aka ho na ochina state funeral no abaso so wotie the stand up ni aposifo kenyina so far se me see say that buy two ho na mo ade abapem na nyina ene de osu ahunu ewo say the kwan asem see e wo kan say
ofani dikan mayenche tie for mutie ene ahwefo mu hwen wo ewiase afana nyina na mefa kwanya so na menchia ye micro me constituency Nsuta Kwama Beposo constituency for bigidi say ye pestation ewo man mu a me constituency for hwepa na Kessben TV ni other affiliate stations inti ye baha na ye say ye constituency for party 2 so idimu ntintima nti me chia omunyina ofa migidi say o man Ghana sebe se bibia si a ede areho kese ene oya odia ba na ya de a esi ye nanu kwade migidi se ne ma na yesonko bi beka se o nipa ebro se o ube kai krampo a emra ade esi ye na ye ka eye nkwala edunsia sebe atorenchem to omo so saa kwanhia kese to ya omo so ye wo asante achim nipa ni bi kan ho sema se o esi ye kra senia ban ni oman no ntimi amfa eye aso a senke de ma omo ne hwa senka oban di nani hwe omo ma na isanse omo kra de nkwala ne ma we ni ye yaw ne hye sebe ye ewuo bi nchen bi nanso o hwe kwan a nipa nwotwi fa so wuye na sebe aya ahotesem kakra yenya akwanya tu kwan kakra na se ya furu wiem hyen kra keke no se otim na se drume bi na machine wo so kakra mpo a senia wo yam ne unipadua ne sikono drume bi ametewa na ebisimitima ne ambisa ne hye enti emra saade ni siwo a eto omo a wa hu sa de ne ekui ye kona sebe ye kwa akohwere ye nkano pan no sen na sebe omu ni padua mu ni omo ahonam no na esi eye wo nti eno na ma sebe o hwe se ne esi abana na eye arehosem wo bekra wo busua wo yere ne o ma se me kwa adwuma ba onya adaja to atade so ahye ye besi wo se ukunu ama biwa sebe atade mpo a ode koye kra no antumi amfa asa atade namba no na odwen ho ana ema ne yaw no ekosoro kakra na senia mpanimfo adi kan aka no yesi ne nyame pe na oye ena da ye beti nyame ase no na megidi se ewiase na nkasa na ebawie ebikan se nyankopon ankasa ne ye ne niema oye no wakase ni kwan se yetenase enti no ni ebesi bia no ye de aseda na bema nyankopon na ya hye abusua a wahwe wan de ewom se Ghana ena omoye ye nyina ye dia na enso so ofa adesa na nondu no bo no obi ewura dem a obi a wodan akorem nti ubehu se edan ananka da bia omwura mufo no omumomu no de no wo soro kyenyen a yenwura sa adam ni binti ye de nyame ene ye de beja omo a omo ahwe sa japade na ya hye nyankopon se onka omo ho emu ye ya papa uhwe bi ti se abrantie flying officer ya woni ne ho kaniawo akola totofua kohwa akola odana so be say less than 6 months na eja afim obenyina ba na papa we ya papa ni ho nia wonso so oware yempu jama bosumi mienu kra asesen kra mampu na wama sebi obi back yonge ene wabe kunani by force chese o hwese ne ani nyina sitia na eya na nea ehadwen kakra so ne se omu wuo ni nyina mu susu no omu afiri mu se omu ekoye adwuma ma oman no at the peril of their life enti bigidi se ade a Ghana fo nyina yesi ede mpae bo tae abusua na chi na ye mo nyame mpae se o china ye gya on kwan no bibia nko jojo na ye nya o mo kwan ofa ye gya o mo kwan wi a ensem bi wo nso a ye beka ho asem.
Okay. Said the yes ya handle no man for criticize Brian Kofa Womo any other. How do you see it?
Oh, officer can no asem there. Media me wonsem bebreka. Especially from the side of the Ghana Armed Forces.
Okay.
We can't did so many defense beba. But look, and where young politicians ne do maybe a ye pen tem begin sem ka ma omo asebe ya form say omo nya adwuma ma o mine ne yentu omo ka as civil servants ne public officers no omo form hudi. I was on your sister station and I was recounting some of the lapses. Sabi ubenya omo say omo ye na security expert, flight expert, I mean you so and I use common sense. Ofa ye nim de kakra ye nya wa kwantuo mu ne se ye nya akwanyafo sa machine bi no e man ya adwuma biesi ye be kenkan ne o kakra wo flight bia e be free kro bia so na e betu bia no ye wo departure and ye wa arrival time na ya yen hihye ye wo kwan a ye fa so a ye handle sa ne o ma bi san se ye nim se enye den a daachi bi Sadi we bi betimi asi. Onim se asemi si ye na on record mu ye hwehwe no. Play ate ahwe krom hada. Enso nsi nyina refi. Play ate ahwe ama nipa wu se ya bi. Baache. Nti ye nyina re kram prefi. But the issue is that ya nya na ese ye ne antfa mu abakosem ne amfa nsua de ntini esi ye no. It's not a lesson to anybody. Player you see a 29:15 or so. Expected time I say Drew is abroswa 45 minutes. Esenke wo boase. So in the worst scenario by 10 or 10:05 na so wo boase. Over. Ebo be 10:15. Na emfonini da so na mabonten kan kire ye say play na tiahwe. Plane bi atiahwe wo boase. Omo expect say plane be touch base e wo oboase ni so nim say plane mai. But it take how long for Ghana Armed Forces for kakire say omo plane a too free enkran no. Ayera wo omo radar no so. Their statement came out after 12 o'clock.
Almost 1, yeah.
Almost 1 o'clock. And the standard procedure is that offer se unyo two planer pilot ni crew na team no omo ni aviation center for aviation for no e kasa almost every time because offer say ukọ wiemu a enye se wiemu da ho se wiemu da ho no ba bia plate mi fa nya sa nete wiemu hyen no se be ye be ka ne se te se nia e form hatiye ya aka ye wo ba bia aka nam no sa na akọ wiem ho ete ye wo ba bia ya hye da locate a omo anim se ha ne nam de kọ ha eti omo kasa isa nsebu ho a yetimi ka kire o se ofri kumase a wo konkran no plane bi nso frie bi America e ba Ghana na sa plane no o ya ba besi enti no obeba form up to this altitude nti wo e se o sa ba form kakra be se bia 800 na we no mefa wo soro wo ko na ye be ka cho se o bra soro kakra na ba ko so ba be twa mu wo nchen na wings na ne batan no wa enti no collect and now these are things that happens every day ayenim but it happens enti no mo kasa saa no emra ne se 30 minutes so na onte the other side nen kan so ye bibi time I was say okodru na unim say esu okodru no say 30 minutes esi no onkodru na wonte ne nka e say oye bibi. I asked myself, say, what happened? Sanima we nyina e konkon ho uka se ukompia na make say ye wia ye be kan nsem ni bi. Then no what na Kumasi Mayo I pity him. No ababa ka kire no mu be defend omo. And there was the parliamentary candidate called the DC. Hey, on your network we ana no mu use your friends say.
Almost say military helicopter and the ultimate out to me communicating all the time. And this is other player who do more to me communicating many.
What machine were they using?
Well, that one I don't know.
When you are using your normal cell phone, ufu plane no, or so ufu helicopter now you use your normal phone in the air. Is that what they are telling us? Is that what they are telling us? Or for an machine, your full normal commercial flight now Wi-Fi woman use strictly in there.
Okay.
So your machine now no more where they were getting the network from, or they were using no through you can't say.
That one I don't know, but according to the military high command, yes. For military aircraft there are communication gadgets and
so it's not the phone. So it's not the phone. That's what I'm saying. Yes. So long, exactly.
Really?
I'm talking of say or using a personal line now. Also, yeah, Juma or Nadmo. So I assume say maybe they have talking. You can say talking. Yes, that's possible. Now, niana me wan kakra nso amasan dwen ho is that. So it means that the Ghana, you see, that's what I'm saying. Say politicians, we should shut up. Now criticizing the Ghanaian forces. So what they are saying is telling us, say, as at the time, NASA conversation, they knew that something was wrong with the aircraft. And then yes,
they say, no crowd, you know, no be dim come much less okay, we see her.
Yeah, almost 3 different occasions.
What about the pilot in the crew, no? Any aviation authorities?
Exactly. And the Ghana Armed Forces now machine aircraft in Omodian. So they are telling us that
maybe me who say or no say any investigation, you know, they have not opened that area. Won't be a honor so. Emi who say bia nkomo say in the course. They have not come out openly on that side.
Yes, do you know why Mesamba Bebre no? Mesaba Bebre because Ghana Armed Forces so more base wa. The whole thing now what was national security so yeah. When this thing was happening, national security should have known from the start that this is what is happening. And the regional minister, who is the chair of the region RESEC, should have been informed of their inability to obey to me. So the regional minister, no RESEC, was not notified. He didn't have an idea.
He was not also know a kind of program. No. So her initially now. Assembly see no crana or why okasa. And no me no and I may just say, share the whole thing now. Nyomu kase na sisi no. What was national security doing? That's why I think say full details of the briefing, you know. It be after investigation, you know, and over me, you know. Because
of all the nyoma sisi, there is something wrong.
Okay.
I feel cry that maybe look, I asked myself, Auntie, you have assuming say originally we are told say nanka the first gentleman of the land neko sa kwantuwe until he would have been the president, assuming said the president, and the president is unable to land. The president means see ya course 2-3 say you see then the chief of defense staff and the Ghana army sits in Accra. And they are telling us there is no other aircraft that will have to move to chase to find out what is happening.
Okay.
And follow up.
All those.
When him say F flight for one, the easiest machine I notify is airline.
Yeah.
To see say a hanewo to trace. Then we are saying say we left the regional minister to drive from your friend said 2 hours and then walk another almost 1.5 hours. When the military could have had another aircrafter, ebeko to the nearest pointer, ebetumi dropping military officers to first cordon off the area. Cordon off the area. And the point say ye kofa sebe emuno. That if we had enough men on ground and kamfonia ye hu ye ni bibre no could have been prevented.
Okay. Right.
Said ye be respect the dignity of the dead. Ekwan asebe ye nya ni ana ye betumi de sebe afa emunu a ebehye nkran esan say be ni ana ato wo no tie mu a na the only option in ekwan omo fa aso no. But if there were enough men on the ground who are disciplined kasebe obi mfamfoni friends fidie ntwa sa see no fan kire yen.
Okay.
And these are some of the things and some of the questions that we say we will ask the Ghana Armed Forces.
Right, let us see. Moro.
Over. There are things I need to discuss one from him. When there are agencies who are responsible in terms of, fighting it and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
The president happens to be the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces.
Mm-hmm.
High-ranked, government officials, especially Minister of Defense, the military no so de share kese.
Exactly. President Niwa on the president commander-in-chief.
What
and what the defense minister to ano.
Good. Send me new can no credit. Say aeroplane be to American decide to put it in a plain language. There are people are more communicating with the pilot and the staff to see proper directions, especially if there are challenges with weather and all that. But let me correct this. Métier kind of was a Z9 all weather.
That's the name
chopper.
of it. Yeah.
I mean, beginning I was thinking, say, Charlie, send you now what the city there. You sure say then proper say. You see, obia speculative. Obia use common sense here. But the point is how the military operate. And yes, I know a team from me operating. Vis-a-vis communicators, media people. And then you want say me a kasa in that direction. But the point still remains to say at the end I see and say a soldier for no more can ameboa. And no more try say on be rectify situation. To on be boy amania at the end of on be boy amania difference be na ebebem. What they are supposed to do is to do something about the situation. Were they resourceful enough to do it? Were they having that capacity to the challenger is seeing? Because as you speak, investigations in concluding my NTS said these are the cause. They need no speculation. Time or de buy any time or man for many now. Time I had information say I did there wasn't a landed by 10-15. But then 11 crab walk about 12. Yenten and canny at the end of home crony banning offer. There were things the Ghana Army were doing to rectify the situation on their own. Even communication, to communicate with them was very, very, very impossible. They lost communication. Now, offer. I send you a kind of media to say the people whom they were communicating with, they lose communication with them. Now, you will be at the end and I'm near the abeton from him and go for 9 years or Wabre Bushia 4. More this year and uncle for is so Ghana, almost TV, ABB. I'll fit you. Case management. Now the abeton from him say, hey, player was a landed 10-15. Ahira. yɛhu baabi afa Ghana Army ɛna ɛka saa wɔ ayɛ sɛ wo papa adeɛ akyi no akɔ no wɔ sɛ papa ɛkɔm de me na papa bɔ n'ani ano wɔ so me ba aduane ni baabi a anidasoɔ ni baabi a wohwɛ a ne bandeɛ no ɔbɛtɔ ba ha cause papa ɛwɔ so ɔkɔkɔkyiri kɔpɛ aduane ba no papa aka ma abambuo koraa no aba ti sɛ yɛpere yɛn ho ne yɛbɛka no mframam at that early stage without managing it. You see, in and around that period, you know, now by President Mahama, the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, were briefed. They manage the situation with the family first. And of what say, you call Manebo Amefia or Mahame, the aged lady, you call for and free and so on and so forth. Manage the situation to the extent say assembly bar and concoyem for free money. You know, I'm penny for mostly maybe say me what that experience with my old man and then old lady. No, who come penny pencil kakrana ya na would say we would there bro so until pressure no time be a high until kwan e be fa so e be kan asema kire wa so asem no anu oden no e different from say e be kan kire me bia e kra me tie me nyan check me nim say me obi ana me nibi but isusu looking at my age tie be stress any Ghana Army kan omo say encentre 43 ye nya speculations no na ye man hwehwemu enkoso enyame ya adom na hwehwemu koso na ye nya bibia na ye de tudwa and then we are eligible to ask any questions I dream say ene aso enko na se see jump the gun na ya accuse people left right center and so on and so forth. How about say the conclusion of all this is made public. Then
okay, but I say
we go.
I wouldn't want this
and then withdraw and so on and so forth. Until offer
you want things to discuss.
And then me this year and say yenya botre, especially me nua ya o te menchen.
Victor, yenya botre.
I'm going forward.
Over yenya botre. But look. Let's call a speed a speed. Or say anak army for so malusu communication.
Victor, yenya botre.
Nya babia na mo ka kire said the parliamentary candidate was calling somebody. The parliamentary candidate no free obi a ontimi ma omo help, but they could not call the Ghana Armed Forces. Sometimes, yes, you benya botre me ni problem. That's why I'm catch you say, you train no mawi. There are questions that we should ask. So they knew whatever was happening and they were trying what they can. At the end, see 10 something. Minister, Edru site at what time? Minister got to the site around after 2 o'clock. Meboa. The minister got to the site offer one the video of Moamu Central for a call site ho. Kana no mu yusumpo na eduru bia sleeping. There is a military barracks here. Between 10 and 11, no, you are telling me there couldn't have been enough men deployed to the site. Like I said, right. Let's get there. When we get there, we will cross the bridge. Now, what what they were doing and
right.
But
I say, it was for 93.3 Kessben FM and I pay Kessben television. So the punch Jumedi and I have Facebook Live on Soa, Kessben TV, na Kessben FM ni Ninkomo na for Ebra. Now, me message got right. We are baby. The fight against Galamsey. And only see a compare alternative way. I'm a brainy Jumaye. Yakofa we were back. Ibebo videos we are more say corner. You bet me a con and I say AJ and Simon. My message pay what happened to our people. Ghana is not safe. If you rely on the military here, even fire service officers are trained as how to use rope from high level to down. So what prevented 3 military officers failed to use rope to land? Ghana Air Force needs a lot of training. See into your was you na ombeba. As of I'm okay from Bantam and Senate West District. Shouldn't he Kweku Subanahini be picked up for interrogation for saying MPP set trap to harm President Mahama by pouring acid in presidential jet? It appears he has a lot of information about plots and schemes against the president. If you don't work a common sense, normal Saturday, intimate. So, Teacher Kujo from Tepen, so thus innocent loss of blood and the personalities involved is very painful. Who is going to take care of their children and wives? May their souls rest in peace, and may the good Lord strengthen and provide comfort to the families and their relatives. We need to draw many lessons from this. Regards to Chairman Odeneho Kweku Appiah. Say, good evening. I'm Smiler from Jaboso, Western North. May the souls of the 8 fallen rest in peace. The government must fix Pokuasin Samo Road and also fix Galamsey as well because it's getting worse. Okay. Good evening, Ofa. Greetings to your guests. Ofa, Ghanaians should know that only NPP can do what Ghanaians are expected. Not all political parties. Please, those who are calling, I'm not opening phone lines. So, not all political parties can do what NPP can do. That's why we are seeing what we are seeing. Still, it is possible. Okay. Champion Kaudi Electricals from Atosu Station. It says, my condolences go to the bereaved family who have lost their life through helicopter crash. This world is a mystery. We must acknowledge that God exists. So whatever we are doing in this world, one day we leave this world for accountability to our Maker. So politicians and those in authority must treat people as such. The world that we are struggling and stealing from the state will be left out. So politicians must be aware of God must show them mercy. Regards to Chairman Odeneho Kweku Appiah. Greetings, Mr. Host. My name is Frank from Achim Kede. Please, I'm very disappointed by the president and his Rambo taxes. We are here when a media man was paid to destroy NPP and NAPO, that he poisoned John Kuma, and that person go free. Won't me guy talk same? Please, we are not discussing that today. Kwenyo Boedi from Kodma said, he says, over tomorrow, President Mahama must declare state of emergency on Galamsey. Look at what happened to the 8 great men. All of Galamsey, we need to kick Galamsey off immediately at once. If the president do so tomorrow, the big ASO will be happy at wherever they are. Those people can't you think? I'm very, very angry, pa. Masaudu from Bantama is a good enough. The fight against Galamsey has been hindered by the heavy financial resources, influence, and political connections of those involved, making it difficult for successive government to address the issue effectively. In the run-up to 2024 election, the NDC accused the MPP government to declare state of emergency on Galamsey, only to abandon such call now that they are in power. The propaganda they used to deceive Ghanaians has started exposing them. Regards to Chairman Odeneho Kweku Appiah. OPK Patriotic Voices gossip. The fight against Galamsey has been worse under Mahama and the NDC government, as he promised in opposition to declare a state of emergency and repeal the LI on Galamsey, which was to deceive Ghanaians for power, but it has not happened, leading to the death of 8 Ghanaians in a plane crash. So we need MPP in 2028 to rescue us from this oppressor's rule. Okay, the government will never stop Galamsey because they had their full support during the 2024 elections. I want to ask, where will the gold ball buy their gold from if they stop Galamsey? Kwame from Takwa. Good evening, Wafa. Both leaders of the NPP and NDC are hypocrites. All they know is giving different names to the Galamsey fight: Operation Halt, Operation Galam Stop, Water Guard, and the recent one which was going to be launched at Obuasi, which resulted in the tragic death of the 8 persons. From the names I have given, has our Galamsey activity stopped in our country? We are not serious as a country. I am Ajamai from Apatrapa. So dear, I don't know. In fact, it's very unfortunate for some of our political youth actors sometimes go overboard to rain insults on our leaders. Okay, we are not talking about insult issues this evening. Good evening. I am Odeneho Tim Dohin and I listening to live from Asatachi with the Batova, who encouraged the Galamsey people to do it when Nanado tried to stop it. If I remember myself, it was Kweku Buahe and NDC who told them to do it. We need Buahe NDC who told them to do it. We need double direction railway line from Kumasi to Accra and Accra to Takoradi instead of new road. And when somebody is responsible for someone dead, We are truck on them in Tiasia anyway. I'm following chat to good enough. My name is Mohammed from Boko. Kenashibe is right. We have to tackle the chiefs and the police in a fight against Galamsey. Right, my friends here. Na yemra say Galamsey no one you see to us here. Into a quack launch what we call responsible cooperative mining. Area Sassimi Baye. Na ya can say Galamsey no. If you see a himfo. And a woman says so Bemua, a bit to us here. Or Henry also say, Nipa no I man to me so my adiano, if it be neighbor on no security. You have a cosa pussy for. Now I say, what is a pussy for a war mining site in a transfer munina. Still, the thing is going on. Why near functional? Young Connie and Conquer. A man for ye walk man so bonte so. A pussy for Coha, assemblyman, and the corrally she be at Tiagina. Say more. Are you go to see her? Na Ebra.
Roma Tiakada. Adiama, a Bonte Goldman's buy and woman chief you some Toma Tiakada. No question we are bonabona, Bibiansi, the sanity. Your first one, you know, Chroma and Zabia. You walk Chroma as a pan, you be the Sia down there. The South Fidelis was a Sanya, that they alcohol. I've heard you, we answer. A Fidelis, you answer a Doma Raya. A police for Kama by night. Abaya. Yeah, only answer. At Fidiana, a sea, a dietino. Woma a Yanesaniano, Omaka Tama Fidiano. A Penina Nidiana Quaco Kaya. Na ya friend a Damai. Yawa no Kroma, Nadaroma. Say upon you been boss Yada and a Fidiano Doma yet to be the Sabimai. You only answer one time I Dama Nasikaimu. Doma or show Mukomano. You have heard Damaya. A dipadoma or show more coma, nurse, Debbie. That's how you have about Pimpanifonia go beside the SC. Yes. Yaquania go about Primia beside the SC. The Huniana said, and Panifor the trio, and yes, I get to a police for the trio. As Senabia so, police for cry. You can say. Appiah.
So, yeah, currently say nipa buy am si bi kra anya pussy for ono bo assemblyman na wodi animu the man for nya ne say nipa 9 ne ache omo na say ma na wo kromo no say ye mranti ni nya adwuma nye galaya na omo ye miedidie mo ba chi omo pese komkuya na te ma no so ani abra de si abeche kromo fo ade hye no omo so ani abra omo ka yenkotie ma no so wo bonte so omo so se mo e ka che say eno a ni adwuma bia ha galana na ye de boy omo de hwe ye okrumanti o ma ye den e na beto ahye so ye hwe ma no so de omo so e kan ye All right, Chromo for man so and almost so buofu so mato abanu ho say adwuma a omo mema na edidie no ena empanifoi ana asasojafo ne ahokafoi baya omo abetu atu abro meme na wachire bi ede omo ekro no yenko kro bi ede ya krom Presia Huni Valley ho omo so oni abrese na no assemblyman sorry member of parliament for Dansia Krofo meka say the fight against Galamsey no the ohun ne say abane sisa na Galamsey for na hand over ma aban na eba no no ma bedi animu say MPP o power penifo edi animu ye no omo na timi di asojafo ne ade ba ti omo kɔ a NDC ba na NDC fo nso abeje no omo ye ade no na hwe ya kromfo ya krom ye amanso ya krom ye wo Presia Huni Valley almost just say penifo ye wo abamu bia ba hɔ a omo pese omo twom kokoo eguo no be Galamsey so masase omo so de anya de omo preso hɔ titi omo so nsem omo eka
ala video jape aleka ke amba video na ama fieme na ni taya mimi na be o si o ka bu be shishi obema ama bi okay ko ka aso
Galamsey party e mamu ntu kokoo we da koto ya ban e ntima dia
kama na mama ba so wasi no Galamsey wa ya krom the whole world no Galamsey na so de ba ni say na mo ya sa ya pra kokoo ya kokoo ediani ko ya kokoo ediani ko wa kokoo ho amuba ba titegu o ya galano sika se na obenya o galano sika se na obenya
o ha ye tie ababa bia wo bia sa wo tia ya se mo metu kokoo we omu di budo so ba ha
wizo kujo na do mu ba ya sa o metu ya kokoo
collect
ya prayer ya prayer ya
foto ama na wie no ya foto ama na wie no
o se o be prayer kokoo
so betu ya kokoo
right we eye baby a de ya na etate se ya ton kokoo asase ya na fu ama obi na otu kokoo ni nyina egu na omo ye Galamsey no ena manfo ya krom el Presia Huni Valley o kire se omo ka kire aban se omo empene na ya to aba wie no ena ho na menti ase se abamu panimu pie ho so na ebe ya na ti no ka se ya to aba wie a de obeye ni ana se na medical aka no aban ye ni difam de obetumi but se we se de Galamsey ko no tie no a se nipa na ye na nya security a omuntumi nya ade no TMPP for breso na wo se koso a wo se bia abenum du mpanifo bi complicit omwom abana dania the same thing you see the same thing going on they say water gas almost so ye mapa na no Bia River omo ne Galamsey fu de ko bo ani out no say water gas nse ye ntini omo ye park nsu kura be fa omo look at what happened there where they cause all water gas omo change Galamsey for no
I send that no. I only want to use you. Market your eyes.
na water gas HSC om so woni masudware a wa hwe omno be ko baby ama baby om be kwa akowura no so be kwa akofa wo. So the fight against galamsey ye fa ko sha posifo ye fa ko sha ban ye fa ko sha hemfo ana ye fa makro no so hwe ya krom die ya emabu na fatuo so ye pene mamu twa kokoo nu me gala wa hada it the fight so manfo kro mu a tigire mu abeboa jama politicians na ebebre jama security for no a ebebre. Victor me sha se firi so the see nyina ye say ye bragalamsey na enunti na mra panifo ikoya komko program ko wie ekon unu say baby adri e de na sie bio intimiyawe the appear say we yabo
yeah
she fold her arms
yes
and sit alone say you say the you lose hope enyi
ye nya enko baby
sir
yes because yen kanokre yen kanokre okrum ha media for bebre mon kanokre asofo mon kanokre
ni say me media de na me nka ho
say na anya den ya se nipa ba akopɛ ne koya yi ne de sra wo nti mon kanokre
no kan ye
what did them je no over lectures for your friend say professors any doctors at university mu a wo mon kanokre
sir
a lawyer for mon kanokre na nya na miam nipa me kokana sema adam koye ne ho adwuma ba ko a omo efrefre mi a mimitim ba bi mimi asem so ameka nipa ba ko any professor Jampo ene woje na appointment we wakɔhye ne kona no wakana no atum
ono nko ane be ma kroma
me boni din because hold on me boni din because he was the one who came to say ono ne yonko teacher for asebe ono omuti university Abayan declare state of emergency nti so ma kwaje bribe. Such an irresponsible statement. If you're a professor anymore by a good na yonko university you tag for executive anymore say because ya anya no palma no political lecture. That's where we are today. Of and yet am see yen timi ne se hwe. Say adwuma die we. Enya na ehya ase. It started from when Yama China for Beji Yekuru Iboso in the field say Omba be two galamsey. Ombe mining. And I will continue to say it without any disappointment. Of a yesusa ye ka see two galamsey ukrum hey. Mi ayebetia ni say oh pitch na buagum nipa ba ku mienu e de omko eno na ni anim. Until omo sha ase ye ja omo begum from 2011 thereabout number no show yes champagne aba because those times say be no mu tu galam say na say no mu ehu ko e be fa so but ye ko fa champagne ba krom ha e na ye nsuo sem now became under attack o man pani mahama sha ase those times ni obeye. But oji minimie no jitum say ye ka say ye fight galamsey ne kese pa no was in 2018 at a large scale. Ubekaya from 2018 banker say look everybody for to go for almost 2 years it was saying say 1 year now ye dey no offer we had a good atmosphere. Nanka ye yire ho kakra fofia ntoata then we politicize it because ye hu say ebema ye tumi then 2020 election
we so hu say enu ntika mo ye lusu no
na botre ni TC form that's what I'm saying say baby me nam tina me say baby ye do no I don't know
say omode
because TC form ni enam a friend say a campaign site with government former government officers, national executives. Ni a non form catching Crawford and Crawford, we are woody for MPP Appiah Kufuor de Woodini, and until Wamamu and Wedriania bomb, Moon to Bentio money ya mayeba, ye mere de ba, ye net to me near bar, ye bemama koyamo galamsey. Yes, I'm kind. Yes, I'm kind. And until out here radio no because say ya to abana mamwa wie enti afredi ya mosimu mayenko mo abeda dae so out radio nim a man as now kind a man is say what kind of crowd say honorable nyambe catcher no enunye tie no man na man can. And this is where you reduce politics to. You catch there and say yen declare state of emergency. And you tell me boy jump on Nadino. Me body D every time because he has shown you only any credibility. Only any credibility. O ye nipa ba ko me baby amatre bia me body D because me hwe nyoma no wokeka in 2024 about Galamsey. Say Nana Danko Akufo-Addo and declare state of emergency. Doctor for mu asupiti hwe nkrofo mfa mu tusu mu metena fie. Lectures nko tena fie. Ene Galamsey hunti obi papa ewu. Makamanu atum. Offer what will be the best solution if today anke lusu nipa wo twi a omko national duty nanke declare state of emergency. This is the right time for state of national for your first a state of emergency to be declared in this country. Anke ukriada atorenchi we see no kayesen kade chin yawada o mampani John Dramani Mahama e declare state of emergency on Galamsey. But because the government and the people are benefiting from it yet when they took over a national security it be koteki obi mining site J etu mining uti is a story no e wo krom ha wo frɛ Jabari me nua Jabari baby o ye ncha no toto papa so sa be nansa ne nan krodam ya sesa ne epe wo ho ekɔ yet krom ha a constituency chairman of the NDC timi catch national task force say wo ba no wan frame an kan kire mo anyi permission etimi ma mo mfa obi anko in this country. A national officer one more national na mo friend say hana bisiu e katani tanki Bruno with police officers kia Bruno you declare national state of emergency. So you see it in adana me bana me kan obekaya last week my take advantage na the last week near kan the last time me ba ha ye kan sa asem ya bi me board district bi ana me kan say so mo the drip machine po ene mo di ye bi that district at the time allegation no mo de ma was I think Suama but I think say in the conversation you mentioned a different constituent district which is I think say Odobian Brack or something yeah more. It wasn't them, brother, but the allegation was in respect of Swaman. All these have come and gone. Ene, over. Say, you to me, say a man 4 lines in sa. Petro, our Mudikogu, machines in Muno. Yet me the pump in the Biako site.
And I'm going to see what you.
Can you imagine?
I'm going to see what you.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And we are saying that this is not the right time. You better declare state of the emergency. Omampeni Mahama. Okuje to abrakwa. Any sami jamfimu kachire and say they need just a day. They will stop Galamsey. Yes, I know kachire. Almost as a buying person was solving Galamsey. Uncle was solving the. Now you just need a day. That's what they told us. Said now watch it a dako. A buying near breast person fighting Galamsey or the dako be solving. And that is why I'm saying, say yes, no, sir. This is where we get to. We politicize every decision of government. And we make promises we know, say, yen to mean for failure. A bank actually say, omu take over. One of the first emra, omu ba omu be sekremu, ade asoti Galamsey and they say, they will repeal that forest, akwenya yedi amazo to me, eko in bisa omwene. Omuba ye nie omo de akọ on emergency certificate of emergency omo ye mra omo pe bisa se Galamsey no emu emra de he ne omo ka so omo be repeat no I have the highlight of their manifesto ha bisa omo 8 months on the line what they have done about that law so omo be repeat no what have they done. And that is why I'm saying say so man no yanka no kra nkyere ye ho na ye koye say nia ye bedi ene ye yanka say personal interest inti no da bia de be politics both the political parties MPP NDC ba bia ye wo ho na ye beko because senka the time na ye sha ase den in 2018 no na ye nya adaje boa ma ye nyina ye call ye nimu a we wouldn't get where we are today.
Okay.
Almost everything and a see ye bia under MPP. Those times
you cannot see we should throw our hands in despair.
And then omuye.
Ye my sense
na offer me senior omuichire.
Nebe kakrebe de nyensu ano.
Na me senior omuichire. It needs us to come back to our senses. Politicians, all of us. And especially the NDC. Where is Okujeto Abrakwa? He was talking blah. He was talking blah. Where is he?
Say dear Saint no. Mampeni Mahama is determined to root out.
On fana sem ko tuba bi mi anyi. On fana sem ko tuba bi mi anyi ne ho. No kasa gro. Where is Sami Jamvi? Kasa gro kasa sa. We've given you 8 months. Muslim betimi the 1 week aye. 8 months. And now it's in the worst state. It's in the worst state.
Okay.
To the extent say mo political party for Eneka. Some that meaning ampa you were seen all over. And that is what Adia Maker say. As for mine and as politicians, Adia abeye social can. Yen depoliticize no. Some people for yen enya. Let's say it. Let's call a spade a spade. Some people for neya. Let's say it. But like you said, Akoya say, oh, we mo ya na omo ya. Because we dey politics, we dey manyo 17 ene amami ko kan na me so mi fa nkoji vote nti owi a ono ana sem no okokan e nti no afi wontumi nye
okay
and it's like a baton one now can say baton it is a change face no it is a do NDC for so omo na ebitu na MPP for na e shisha chire ni bia omo akọ chire
member of parliament
I even look me say my tie a DC ba ko ka say adwuma ne de ni tuo no o se de na se tuo be ye den esan say we mu ba say we mu adidi ntie say we mu so ba ye mu didi. That's the thinking of a DC.
Okay, that's
the thinking of a DC.
Moro
over.
Baby Edri, say na me ken no could you to some penesi in the light of enipa nwotwe akọhwe won kwenti no. He's determined to root out Galamsey. Obetu ase. O gidie wom. Na de na ma ndi da so. Sa de nse baby e kono. Obetu ase.
Over me na wase. Na me kan si we su bia say there was nowhere, no platform. And as I made them fika say e man dey. Nobody be to Galamsey asida. Mesa kabio. Asemwa minua Victor ka say Sameja mfisi ya mani dey na o to abla kwase ya mani dey. Not on any platform. And omo kan sa ade. Again offer. Na o expect say Victor and the MPP for ombenya solution to the fight against Galamsey. Of course they don't have.
More you have.
That be say omo mutimi ya 8 years and he ni baby we ana meboa. No be the 8 years I say there be minka Victor. My original time out here had the boss to mine at where mo ambulance minister can say neni kwan so mine. Not Krumwa, you never criticize that Victor. Now call reviews ne cry there's Obama kumako. Of na mwanya Victor there. Why are there pa ahoma train the ba ha na ahoma tete no de so trata so na treating bedua. Not dodgy. These are the kind of people we are dealing with.
We need to send your car. Maybe politics and free more. Maybe
politics no mo dey enti na me adu ba be edru no. Over now o kan asem wo say ye jaima hemfo ne kroma na enye yi ana. That is what the NDC and for that matter President Mahama is saying. The bottom up approach say obi be call enkran no akwaje mining licenses no dey aba me krom okay me free mirigu yen 2 gold or there but me fan say 2 gold or mirigu na o dey aba me nim no you to no he krom obi anu ha wonim no it was sensuo kra nya na sem but then sade ne she kroma ne nsa o beje licenses na nya bottom up approach a top up approach na a bottom up approach o je licenses no locality a
what it means in say kroma na and it determines at the end of the memo and I am farmer. And that brings in cooperative and responsible mining. Offer I video ya oboye baako. Osha baby omutu at the end. They don't have the licenses to do it. And a man illegal. But a new so. I almost say omujidi senko ya kebe. But emra wo memo. So betimi atu. Efuma gudie a small scale miner. I just say we nya ho nkrata na ofa meboa. But bibinti emiso mu nya sa akwanya no. Ti aben ya wa ba President Mahama Dano. Say you introduce a dear friend cooperative and responsible mining. What it means in say nipa omoye conton cross anya kan obi a ogina ono nko a na ebi oni ahode ode be kwa akwaje license e be mana ye legal mining no yen ka dodo na mom a omo masase o ne emu omo license ne nya no what we call that cooperative ade no na yen san tax ko omo say mu ya ade ni wi a mo san kata so reclaiming the land and so on and so forth. So there are solutions. Abai ba I want tonight. Ofanano na mete sister station wa wunu aketoa Erasto Sasare. Wase mo kwatena cabinet. Ehye say forest reserve ane nkonko tu from agudie wo ho no. Mo kwatena cabinet. Ehye say yenkotu no wo ho no. Ah na ho ye red zone ene asesa ye yellow ayeko green. And enforcement the obebo aben yabaso. What he is expecting is prosecution. Offer a far better than you know under the tutelage of His Excellency Nana-Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Original chairman Victor Nyemi Yakran said, "Who are we featuring? Chairman won't to me. Could mine at a place what the emphasis and one mako nase mashe them asisem rasa yonkonko to the end of forest reserved. Underline the word reserve. Yeah, reserve what to go. I'm a nature in Chirima. And I always have this word in my mind. When the last 3 dies, the last man will die. Mudie nya humobra magana for. Nya humobra ma humanity and am ye mra and na what ya wunya ni wo e san ka say ai mo se mo ba mo betwem mo ba mo ntwem chese e ye ne de wo sere Ghana hwiase e ye ne nkoso. You see the kind of people we are dealing with.
Is it Ghana hwiase ne nkoso and I say ohunu action dia entisa sa corporate mining ne wo wasemi a wo kan say yenya ma local people nti won tin sa ban yes an hihye no ba so aba over ade obi di 8 years ti asem ne o obi di 8 1 2 3 poly 8 asaya de. Does it mean say before 2016 that galamzi ni o over we busa asem na wo ho e na President Akufo-Addo Eba was say meba be two ade no ase. Offer and banning all forms of mining. Yeah. And yet all forms. Large scale was not part. Anyway. Maybe small scale mining. Yeah. Exactly. And was say me den hihye egu akwem. Na ma hwe say yen san go back to the days na yen nyina yempe. Over and she said, the community mining. The Biana people would want to, compare community mining with cooperative and responsible mining, which is different. Over. Where there, and your party for near Komabomu say, Yanko Yomu training now or Muna Wakonya so on budget lines is a free in crime about the two locality. Wabra or more work room had the any or the Anias on Faso. But where they say, yeah, the mamu ankasa wo wasase a we won asase we need licenses ye come abom na abaya mamu licenses na motimi atua na mo aye adwuma na mo wi amasan kata amna no so
But where the community mining was all about say, young formy party kuobi. Na yen training omo in Galamsey. Na mo makonya no mo come and so abro mo free ono mo nkose o masase. And that was ruthless. Victor went me and criticized even a day. And do I even expect Victor and the MPP for say, Ombedrin say, there will be any hope in terms of fighting Galamsey? They have no idea in fighting it. Of course, they had a leader, and of course, he was your leader. Though our president, who was bold enough to say, the presidency now to on the line, would turn out to be a very thin line. What did he say? At the end of the day, he was in despair. Also, obi amfana dwemra na ye ntwe kwan e befa so anameboa. Eti ene utie president Akufo Addo asemu yi a wo ye leader wo sanka atie no. A wo ye oman ba pa ye nyina ye fight ade a wo say enam so ama Ghana this year. They were in service for this nation. And omo hwere omo nkwa because of Galamsey. Kafo adwene bra. But papa e de what he ha wo kan. Ama one more affected in terms of Galamsey effects. I'm very disappointed. Because you see, they didn't have any solution to it. I said you over. Metia minti me moya for misanko say nedru. Se wunya dream bia wo de beba. Why should you think say there is no hope? And this year can okure wabra sa no kure no went me anka when your party was in power.
Okay, me that say
I never heard Victor on any platform criticizing his own party say adeya moye especially on one regional chairman to Galamsey wo forester ye man ho akonya so ngutu.
Right.
No my home radio.
Right, me that say
I mean that kind of
it is still politicking.
Hypocrisy.
Victor,
over. Me the video bi say ya ba wonimre. Okuta to Ablakwa on the 4th of September 2024. Hold on. Please, hold on. I even have another second video. The current Minister of Lands and Forestry.
Lands and Natural Resources.
Yes. My friend say, Honorable
Wofa Kofi Appiah.
There is a video be na Masandiama. Yeah, me debe.
Money more.
Unim. There was a video be, I think you remember. No, interview. Ena Adansia Sokwa, former MP.
Ketiamo.
Kobo netiko se uye trofo that video.
He wasn't
Do you know what he was
in the one.
Hold on. There is a hold on. I have the video. Video.
It was
say you don't know.
A former power
please,
minister.
Please. This is the video. I am telling you the video. This is the video.
This is the video.
Or say Nana Akufo-Addo enye part of you can say Galamsey anka here 2 weeks go stop Galamsey.
Your video is very important. Let them play.
Was it offer any? Me say was stopping Galamsey. Yenti kromo amu ben bae. Mu accuse, mu party for na mu accuse say mo national. Mo say mu national e friend say. Mo national organizer. Me ami nua pani Yamin etu Galamsey. Enti omo investigate no. Omo de na ma yoko. Uni kromo ha. Unti kromo ha. Video ya oboy, o second video ya oboy. O second video yi. One te say ye de machine abasi yenkotu koko mu.
Why na de Galamsey machine?
What did I mention? Now the video no boy me nang boy. You see, yen can no kre. And I'm saying say ye nyai ne aye kire no a. Huh? Also wakasa wanka state of emergency no asem. You were part of those who say yen declare state of emergency. I am asking you today.
Let them play.
Ne aye hu eneno. Is it not the same more than what you saw? I see yen declare state of emergency. Na se ye who say asoman a, wo ka se ebeko yanim. Ye who say asoman a, wo ka se ebeko yanim. Ene mo party officers ene tumi nya kukudo ka kire police officers say mo ba be stop Galamsey no mo anka nkire yen. Wa mo mama ne dia ye ma mo kwan ma mo mba. That police officer now, you're stopping it today. And then, will you allow us to talk?
Where you have your time.
Sure,
why?
Sure.
We are not about. Sure.
That constituency chairman, what that's what you? So that's why I make us say, baby, I do know. say yan can no cry nkyere ho as politicians we will see worse. We will see worse. Because otie nsem NDC for kan about galamsey ho. The vice president today, Professor Nana, at the lunch, or say Omoba, in their first 6 months, they will stop galamsey. And they will make people mine without destroying the forest and the water bodies. In 6 months, Mr. say, you were 8 months. What have they done? It's even worse.
That's it.
And so no, the timidity level, no, I worse than even they came to meet it.
Okay.
Now I better now can we? Yes. And then, tell us whether the water bodies no is so
that's it. Moro, quickly, dear call. Other things to talk about.
It's on record. Baby, I can say you best solve the galamsey issue, with just a day. It is on record, nothing like that. It will be out here now. We hear Biano or Moon is there. Junior Victor born the city and a KB, and that is the usual politics I name FI Union MPP for again over. Why are we doing this to ourselves? As for mine.
You see, one politicians, one of yes,
and then I hear Palmayo.
One of yes, sir.
The air Palmayo on the same key issue any better, and I'm a boy. The air Palmayo on Sanka, a forest zone key and co, and I'm a boy. The Okofa some my bear fieno. What's it meant to me and Pamo Sama, oh, by and won't mean Pamo Sama in tea. Matuminsa, Aku, Menadi be. And this kind of thinking. Do you think so far? You bet me, acquire name with certain people, especially elements like MPP 47 Victor. Our terms and if I should do, they are on our left hand side, so position.
Maybe your Kaya here may declaring a state of emergency.
I want to make come back and say a state of emergency. And Professor Bakubi and Watakeno. As if say he was the only person that was talking about state of emergency.
Let us put that aside. You think say maybe I don't know. Man penny declare state of emergency.
Why state of emergency at that time? Now Obia den anu tomb. Na nessa voices no do na wo form.
Because Omabeja appointment. Because Omabeja appointment. Now they are part of your government.
They have seen effort on the part of government
and their government
and
members.
It is assuring enough to say, man, the benefit of the doubt. After all, how many months? Over the 8 years. Tom Fulari, no more the 8 years are signing man.
And all those people are members of your government.
8 months.
All of them are members of government.
This matter a day. Looking at the facts of here, opposed to 4 Kwakoya arrest. Don't you think that you should commend government in a way?
For them.
A whole assembly member, Babeji Nawaka said, them Penosoma on arrest. And what happened to the assembly member? What's the party chairman be say? National operation Babe or Mona Manie. What happened to him? It was now that be and you see Anyanehe. Omu pressing the koi and some lawyers are interview now can say
Masa stop what you are saying. Stop this. The person is on live television. The officers were there. Also Omu then. Please.
Opa was a video now.
Which video?
But upper Dintra is don't go. Swansea meaning Swansea. Look, he made that press statement. I mean, and central for about after the operation. Somewhere he was even talking, say, yeah, sorting, so and that is what we call effort. A bendiaba will put it in place. Sabi,
what is his capacity to say that?
Please.
What is his capacity?
You see, national Adiano.
Senka Ama. Can you imagine?
Assembly Senka Ama. And Ama Juma. Ama can't even our own. For our own to complain, say, and Kapati.
He didn't allow them to work, Masa. They didn't even go there. What are you talking about?
Sanki Yasun and Kiabo. I was saying, I'm baby, but I see a more money. And
no more money. He didn't allow them to work.
We are fine gentlemen.
Right.
There is one thing
you should be ashamed of yourself.
You always political.
Our own. Who can say? And this is for cry say. The national organizer and on record and this in Ibian Casa. But even granted say a casa.
No crata na
exactly. And Tiabaino do not spare anybody.
Right. What has happened? What has happened to him?
The punch you made what has happened to him? So Mr. we had a punch or Kessben television so now Sati or Kessben 93.3 FM so now. And I'm saying that the politics in room there, and see, now we and one can ye na casa man for Ubabe Momotu, and I also crow for ne say ya near Kobasa na adiana the tima na itim. Master Planner Junior from Kintampo say, Pedamama promised to fight Galamsey, but Galamsey now fighting him in his appointees today. In President Mahamad's own house at Bolevan Boy, Galamsey is going on giddy. Galamsey a buying abba. Okay. Hello, good evening. I'm watching you live from Senegal, Kassamans, Elikin, and my name is Jonato Hassan. What is MPP man talking about? He must stop cheap politics. He cannot compare himself to Same and Samuel at all. Good evening. Matthew, your guest should be very careful because that helicopter incident was a fatal accident. It can happen. It can happen to you. No one caused it. It's God's will, please. It is very difficult for this government to stop Galamsey because of what they said when they were in opposition. And the recent producer price of cocoa will increase Galamsey activities in major cocoa growing areas. Sebashal, Sehui, Kofi Krom, Proso, Yaboso, and all the way a free a buyer. Good over, please tell the NDC man if they are not benefiting from Galamsey, then they should declare a state of emergency. I'm Prophet Bright, I do say from Afano Southwest, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia all the way. What about Obuasi MC was doing Galamsey in front of his office? Ah, sir.
And you on the back and say, Anyane or Nadian or better to Papa.
Very well, I'm Asirwa from Seria Safo. I'm enjoying your show live. But do you know something? NDC First Social Intervention for Ghanaians is a review of prophecies at the office of the president. Oh my God. Again, President Mahama has failed everything he promised during 2024 election. Okay. MPP fought against Galamsey and they are now in opposition. And I'm expecting NDC to do the same for them to also experience the table of opposition. The machines that MPP party brought, NDC has started using the machines at Galamsey site. I tell you, this shameful act to NDC party and John Dramani Mahama. I'll say, your Krom people mention wisdom. Please, you journalists, please find out who that wisdom is. From Alex Akosumbo. Wisdom, then they have to listen to the tape again. Good way of Oboba Kilibobo from Jubumen's Fashion, Agogo Boase, rest in peace, number 8. Good way of President Mahama used Galamsey for politics to get votes. What is going on is as a result of what President Mahama promised that when he come to power, they will allow them to do Galamsey, and he's getting what he want. President has failed us when it's come to fighting Galamsey from you. Hey, you see, if I'm on him, I think I've read your message already. Let me give the chance to others. I have realized Moro is not confident in his submission. If I may ask, who is the commander-in-chief of Ghana Armed Forces? When former President Mills died, who announced it? Was it the military or who? Or say steady from Takra did not do free a buyer. But before we in Chato, now I may Pokwase and Saum Quino. I'm saying some of the NDC people to me, young this is Suja buying back a begy free sound crofumi in some. But no, I drink as a pity. This is Suja buying back. Now, Soja for the crown about before no. DC for Crofum Bahana, or say, what the security man to Galamsey site and January. Chakra no ye, dear corner dear, the conveyor. Right, Balam, you have video no, Pokwase to Salmon Road. Nanado, so Koji Bosia, ye bear quino, ye need pa because so free crying now pee Abekumasi a that stretch from Ofanko Pokuase Amasamai na wura mu abedu nsawom no wo beche wo ho pa ekwai wo mo ye meka se ade na contractor no nye one side nwie na that the order that ye mfa so no wi abaye the other side so bridge a wo ye ni ade ntino iso nya the full stretch and waye and ehwe se de kwan na ehwe tanker namu wo de saloon car famu a nsuo be ko engine articulator car ni muni emesese wo ha madraba fon se sabanya wo bibia ababeda benya no ma block kwan no de car sisi kwan ka bia nko na kan kwa bia ma yentie de omo kan ne musa se governance is continuity sika ho se de ye ene yenye na sika ni ho a yenkupe sika meye yi jamana ye say ya na who is to blame yentie de omo kan ne fa sa kwan yo. All right. Okay. Moro, I'm just saying so. Me say ekwan wa faso be paying. Now, here the state of this part of the road. Idea say in just about 4 minutes.
Sure. Over my main and our CBO now. Is it very important say they clarify one or two things about road infrastructure and continuity vis-a-vis by the afam. There were so many of the contracts of as we speak. A lot of them started with our commencing certificates. What they got is the in the first place say value for our money and and she say Ghana yamam rana she say in terms of yin sika sen yin simfa endino timpen government budget it is approved by parliament to go to me bibia quite apart from their approval especially by parliament when she say ekwakoto pen na no wadwem no hu ne zenye pen ye hia but ye hia aduane then so pen na de call ma ya approve ma wa at the end of the day one ye Ghana ye nyina ya dutu musi ebe ye no ti yesi bibi the woefully causing financial loss to the state ti aban oba fufu bia na you will be cautious of that, especially finance minister he didn't na court idru baby now temu for penny oye Ghana temu for penny kra no show be kutupa say omra media dance krumu na nka yemfa ntum all because of some of these things and so on and so forth. And what I am made to understand is as we speak they are done with everything, and when ya can was me we be a Monday na enyeme gu akwan mom we
Eduade ya
mami men came to each other so as part of yen dedicated infrastructure, program. No. About when your friend the big pusher, now you're a finance minister during the mid-year budget editing and so on and so forth. Me did say those that were mentioned, would definitely be honored. And Abaya, you also see you can't see a bay. Na ye akwan kroma ma ebiso asokore mampo municipal president Akufo-Addo court for bra no ye the then candidate president Akufo-Addo opposition leader kwose omo boss say umma konwa ma me be president
sɛnea muntaka ne NDC fo ayɛ asɔkɔre mampɔn no saa na mɛyɛ aban a wotumi introduce kuku roads ɛma MPP aban a wɔbaayɛ the regional chairman ɔno ane party for accusing say yɛsan de hyɛ wɔn nsa no koraa wanyɛ okay saa famous
okay
yɛde ma chairman wanyɛ nso wɔn na so for na ɛkyerɛw say there is a lot of road infrastructure development aban de ne nsa kan ya went me anyway inshallah once aban continuity ne there
right
yɛde ne nyinaa bɛ gua kwan so wɔn nkɔ ma kuma nto wɔn yam na
cars ne say ya na say
definitely it will be done.
Right, that's it. Victor, 4 minutes.
Yeah, of a media say, a point ya dear in Yagana for. Na, Ocean and other down for a buyer, who had a backward. Like I say, a boy banyi any Ghana for Bibriana, a quine hodwa, one penny, and another down for Kufuado. A ye, Ghana. Uba ya santimemu ha na uba mpatamu especially uba kumasia na eyaka se ya kwan nyina almost all the town roads ni connecting roads ni nyina na abuboketa asese kra ohwe bridges ahodoa na ewo kumasia ubekaya be 2019-2020-2021 ensuo puniti kakra bia mpo na krom ha nyina flood and aban sha se major bridges ewo asantememu ni titiri kumase anema ensu yiri twifa yeso ni nyina no aban sha se ye modernize na yenye ohwe bibiti se the almighty atafwa ene oduru atafwa etise unam highway so uko bibiti se adumanu ofase onim sojala ona afa adumanu kosi eye Boshan Kotoko residence moon side ho be uhwa a horse bridge no it was fixed uko bibiti se IPT inside the honum baby they call nyancheni ase I don't know if say nyancheni ase me mahumi be no all those eyini nyina na banhwe uhwe yan kumase ya krampo a lot of them roads kansantiachim komanso some of the roads were so bad say no mu hu kota akrada wa me am bi kromu nsuta uhwe kwan from oyoko kumawu kwan all rekase bebre and major roads bi also anehu be here and one of them no ene nia yebebo so ya ban koje bosia se yebehwe kwan yebefa so a yebetumi aye eyesa major road no se de be connect
ba agbogja chese sika amokoje no mbae no manfa anye kwan no
offer you see sometimes I always say as politicians when we do this to ourselves yebre I heard him or say aban akoje 750 million so de beye of anko kwan so wan fanye. Then he was a member of parliament sitting in parliament. I asked myself, hold on, then I know where your parliament ho. Hold on. The 750 million was amount of money yanko just say the baba pokuasi of anko kwan. Oh please. Hold on. But kanokre abanji sikane say one yade 40 yade 200 million. Yes, aban government of Ghana and so counterpart obey. Yade mu 35 million flower pot interchange. And flower pot interchange in New Sikanumu 47 million was for interchange Swami interchange. And one was for the completion of Sofo line interchange. And today Sofola interchange yenim baby MPP aban fa free edru ebuakwa. You understand? It is sometimes say and that's why I always say kasi ebedi amanyosem na achi ni aka ni say ya ni aka. Who are you helping at the end of the wine na oboa no? O man na oboa na say entro na opeso utwa. What did I mention? A two begin all because say Abaya Koji 75 million so the bay of and coquine. Abraunim says he can in parliament. Mwana muji tu muse. Acquire hodwa, Muamuchi chase can say. Yemfa meyeno. There are many. Now come back, Kupebom said, Nunti Abaya. You are not being fair to government and to your mind. But near best say, Sabina ba. Na say, Onwa Bayan who say, Sakwen ye kwen here. Na ye say ya ba for frontino ye be ye inspection na critical road the do say na ye ma contractors akwanya mo nkoso nkoya. That is the consequences and I say esusanso obonia e de brain just because of politics. So ma wi a they should allow them no mo nto aso no mo koye adwuma ma sebi akwantufo so eden ye ho ntoyen because sometimes utna kam na oduru ho baby esen ka di 60 minutes then it takes you more than 2 hours. Mijidi say adia e ha adwan e de o how any abenisem e de bregana for ni akwantufo nyina enti
ye ka kwan say ye nti penifo nyina etukwan a on the aeroplane and anu mti abemu pani baako o se ukwada na nkwanhye ne sie no se na otumi nante pa free kwase konkra ne ya enko nante e kwan nye the see do mze du prince na afi amanfo susuro o mai hwe na ka kwan de busiafo terrible. You're the pa. Madam, you're happy birthday. Na yemfan solo sobreno etia pa na yenko. Happy birthday, Stronko. Any de ma Honorable Peter Arre. Honorable Peter Arre, assemblyman, ewo manso edubia. Honorable Antentem cry. You may query ya near taste and ne ewa da Honorable Peter Arre and ne ewa da. Te social yankopon so mo nyansa nim de na ontre wan shim fa yie ni ado eni wachi ma de wo nyina so entimi enwie peye ewo yesu dim oziafo ha de enwumre dwumadi no so esie
so say o mo hwe mo pa o eni bra John ewo ensuta o mo so o mo hwe mo papa nti yemfa nchia sonko ema no mo nguso nhwe ha na ha de wo hwe ha I say wo hwe international television
right moro any for so na hwe
I minua bi shame den na offer onim I mean correct impression bi minua
me time na so
o chia obi a o correct e dey impression of it onim obi a chia na obi a yes sorry ngo dey impression abe o ba be correct
ai be sisi abido ka se me ma me cry hwe me ma mentia no obi a no echia no she so proud they say yeah no be free bado free bunumu pa o ti national television as I what so na ma me hwe wa ya na ya nwa and awu otada ntembede na de o say
unti o hwe
right
therefore how did
facha oba say we be din tro kakra
Mori Yakubu ekasama the ruling NDC na fi Victor Sepuku so kasama MPP malam ya na baba simi ma me de Kofi Appiah onyame ya no ochena national day a state funeral e de manipa wotwe a erewa nkwa no ti anopa no e betrase na de ekoso onkran nyina no yenu anu onkran e bi som na omode aba na onso ahwe bibia bi yakramo bye bye.